Have you seen it? The panicked posts, the alarming headlines, the whispers online that a new Social Security rule went into effect in March 2026 to slash your benefits. It's a terrifying thought. For the tens of millions of Americans who rely on these benefits, who've planned their entire lives around this promise, the idea of an unexpected cut is more than just a financial concern. It's a direct threat to their security and peace of mind. But I'm here to tell you the truth. In the next few minutes, we are going to walk through what's really going on. And I promise you, it is not what the fearmongers are telling you. So, let's separate fact from fiction right now. The problem: deconstructing the myth. First, let's tackle the rumor head-on. The story spreading online claims that on or around March 7, 2026, the Social Security Administration, or SSA, quietly implemented a new policy leading to a dramatic reduction in your monthly checks. Some versions are vague, just mentioning a new rule, while others are more specific. This has understandably caused a wave of anxiety. When you think of Social Security, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For many, it's frustration. It's long hold times, confusing forms, and a constant drumbeat of news about the program's long-term health. The system is so vast and complex that it often feels like a black box. You put money in for 40 years, and you just have to trust that the correct amount will come out when you need it. So when a rumor like this pops up, it's easy to believe. It taps into our deepest fears. That the system we paid into is changing the rules in the middle of the game. That the financial security we planned for is built on sand. It feels like another case of the everyday person versus a faceless, powerful bureaucracy. That's why this March 2026 scare has gained so much traction. It feels plausible because it preys on existing anxieties. But just because a fear is understandable doesn't make it true. The debunk: what really happened on March 7, 2026. So let me be as clear as I possibly can be. The rumor that your Social Security benefit amount was slashed because of a new rule on March 7, 2026, is completely and unequivocally false. $0 in benefit amounts are changing because of what happened on that date. Your retirement benefits, your disability payments, your eligibility, none of it was affected. So, what really happened? Why did March 7th become the focus of this myth? The truth is that something significant did happen at the Social Security Administration on March 7, 2026, but it had absolutely nothing to do with your benefit payments. On that date, the SSA launched the single largest operational overhaul it has seen in over a generation. They started retiring their old, fragmented office-by-office system and switched to two new centralized national systems: the National Appointment Scheduling Calendar, NASC, and the National Workload Management System, NWLM. Before this change, each of the SSA's roughly 1,200 field offices acted like its own little kingdom. Each office managed its own appointments, its own claims processing, and its own backlog. This created a massive patchwork of service across the country. A disability claim in one city might face a 12-month backlog, while an office in another state could process it much faster. It was inefficient and unequal. The new system changes all of that. Think of it like this. Imagine a national company where every local branch had its own separate phone line and appointment book. The new system is like they've finally installed a national call center and a unified online booking platform. The National Appointment Scheduling Calendar, NASC, is designed to centralize how appointments are booked. The goal is to allow people to self-schedule their initial claims appointments online, finding a time that works without being limited to their local office's availability. The National Workload Management System, NWLM, is the other side of that coin. It lets the SSA distribute cases to employees nationwide based on who has the availability and expertise. So, if you file a claim in California, your case might be handled by an agent in Florida who has the capacity to work on it immediately. The entire point is to balance the workload, attack backlogs, and standardize processing times. This is a massive internal, administrative, and logistical change. It's about how you access services, not the services themselves. The rumor mill took this complex operational shift and twisted it into a story about benefit cuts, creating panic where there should have been a simple update about customer service. The real financial changes for Social Security in 2026. Now this is a critical point. While the March 7th scare was a myth, there were very real and important financial changes to Social Security in 2026. They just didn't happen in March, and they certainly weren't secret cuts. These are the numbers you actually need to know. First, the cost of living adjustment, or COLA. For 2026, Social Security and SSI beneficiaries received a 2.8% COLA. This increase began with benefits paid out in January 2026. For the average retiree, this translated to an increase of about $56 per month. This is an automatic adjustment required by law to help your benefits keep pace with inflation. While many argue this raise doesn't fully cover rising costs, it is a raise, not a cut. Second, and this is a big one for people still working, the earnings limits were adjusted for 2026. If you are under your full retirement age for the entire year, the earnings limit increased to $24,480. For every $2 you earn above that limit, the SSA temporarily withholds $1 of your benefits. There's a different, more generous rule for the year you reach your full retirement age. For those individuals, the earnings limit in 2026 increased to $65,160. In that year, the SSA only withholds $1 for every $3 you earn above the limit, and they only count earnings in the months before you reach full retirement age. Once you hit your full retirement age, the earnings limit disappears completely. You can earn as much as you want with no impact on your Social Security checks. Third, the maximum amount of earnings subject to the Social Security tax rose in 2026 to $184,500. This means that if you're a high earner, you pay Social Security taxes on your income up to this amount. This is one of the primary ways the system is funded. And finally, the amount of earnings needed to get one Social Security credit also increased slightly. In 2026, you need to earn $1,890 to get one credit, and you can earn a maximum of 4 credits per year. You generally need 40 of these credits over your working life to qualify for retirement benefits. These are the real documented changes for 2026. A 2.8% COLA increase and updated limits for the earnings test and the taxable maximum. These are standard annual adjustments, not a secret plot to slash your benefits. So let's wrap this up. The March 2026 Social Security scare was a ghost. It was fiction born from a misunderstanding of a real, but purely administrative change in how the Social Security Administration schedules appointments and manages its workload. Your benefit amount was never, at any point, at risk from this change. The real story of Social Security in 2026 is one of routine, public adjustments, a modest 2.8% cost of living increase, and updated thresholds for those who work while receiving benefits. The truly significant long-term change for the year is that the full retirement age continues its legislated rise, solidifying at 67 for those born in 1960 or later. These are the facts that matter. It is so easy for misinformation to spread like wildfire. A headline gets twisted, a complex topic is oversimplified, and suddenly, millions of people are living in fear. Your financial security is far too important to be dictated by scary, unsourced rumors on the internet. Get your information from credible sources. If you want to stay ahead of the real changes and get clear, no-nonsense updates on everything related to your Social Security benefits, take a moment to subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell. We're dedicated to cutting through the noise and giving you the facts. And finally, if this video brought you some clarity, please share it. If you saw one of those panicked posts, drop this video in the comments. Let's work together to stop the spread of misinformation and help others find the truth.